The pursuit of happiness, climb the ladder, study hard and you'll get what you desire, the all-American dream. We've all been brought up to pursue success and to make something of ourselves. The issue is the foundations on which these are built upon are flawed at best, utterly broken at worst. Welcome to the No Hustle, the place to help you escape the hustle. I am your host and guide turned dog, and in today's video we're going to look at the role success plays in your life, and indeed if the very definition of it has changed. We're going to focus first of all on what success actually is, because for many of us it's not something that means something. It's simply a generic version placed upon us by parents, teachers, the media, and society at large. And we need to beg the question, why? And if that isn't what we want, what is? But before we get into all that, please make sure you subscribe to this channel for more anti-hustling advice. If you'd like some actionable tips sent direct to your inbox each week for free, you'll want to sign up to the No Hustle Huddle, our weekly newsletter, which is ACEs. And please leave a comment below sharing your thoughts if this video speaks to you. With all that in mind, let's dive on in. Let's start with asking a very important question. What even is success? At first glance, it seems like an easy answer to answer. What is it? This is the problem for many people, myself included, for a long time, as we pursue something that one day we question and realize isn't all that meaningful. And if you don't like the word success, that is absolutely fine. You can replace it with purpose or meaning or vision or fulfillment or anything else like that. The word itself isn't important, rather the ethos around the word, because we're all on a journey that is life, and we're all pursuing a destination that is death. And before we reach death, we want to make sure our journey means something, and that is a worthy pursuit to make sure your life means something. And that right there is the pursuit of success or happiness or whatever other word you wish to use. The question is it one you defined for yourself, or is it placed on you by another and has warped over the years in the realm of cars and houses and job statuses and everything else? That is the question, and that is what it is all about. The issue is that all-encompassing it centers around the word power. Now, for as long as there's been people, there have been the elite, those at the top with the power, the resources, the leverage, etc. And they've always had one job: to maintain their leverage, their power, their resources. And in doing so, to attain more of it, so that the people below them have less. Because if they have less, they have less ability to question and to revolt and to go against the regime at the top. A great example of this is if you've ever read 1984 by Orwell. There is a degree of classes within a system, and each one is led to believe that they are superior than the ones below, and that they have a chance to rise the ladder, that they're able to pursue something that isn't really attainable, because those at the top, who are in that book invisible and not any one entity, are able to maintain the power dynamic and keep everyone else in line. That's important, keeping everyone else in line, because the ones at the top are few in number, and the ones below them, and indeed the ones at the bottom rung, tend to be great in number. So if they ever reach a point where they realize just how much power they have, they could topple those at the tip top in next to no time. And we've seen this throughout history. Every now and again, something like the French Revolution comes to mind. But usually the people at the top are able to maintain their power enough to keep everyone else in their place. And success, the pursuit of success, is a tool that those with power use. They let every one of us know that if we do things in a certain way, we will be able to rise the ranks. And they'll give examples of those people who have managed to break rank and rise. So we're all led to believe that if we work hard and if we fall in line and if we conform, that we can get to the top, or at the very least, get enough power to make a difference to our world. So we have the money, so we have the freedom. So success becomes a real wishy-washy, vanilla, generic definition of house and cars and things that those at the top empower us to desire. They say, you can have this if you do this. If you pursue success, you can achieve success. Not by questioning, not by critically thinking, not by taking a step back and defining what it actually means to us. No. That won't help you. What will help you is to just go with the punches. Follow the blueprint that has been placed before you. Follow the guidelines that you've been taught your entire life. Work hard so you can get the qualification that will give you the job so you can climb the ladder and have everything you desire. Yet, is it real? Is it something that means something to you? That is the question. And more often than not, the answer is nope. But there's something else at play here, and it is time and how it be a changing. Because there's always been those individuals, both on an individual level and also in groups, hippies and the vagabonds and beatniks and the like, that broke through the conformity of society and said, that doesn't mean anything to me, I'm going to do it my way. But things are a little bit different today. And it actually centers around hustle culture and how we are so connected with everything. If you think about what we have access to today, it's phenomenal. Throughout the vast majority of our history as humans, we only got to learn something if someone taught us directly. And then the Gutenberg press became a thing. And all of a sudden we were able to read. The spreading of knowledge expanded far and wide, but you still had to have access to a book up until the last few decades where the internet opened up literally the world to an extent now where we're able to access information at a scroll of a fingertip or even a single voice command. This is empowering to the everyday man and woman like myself and you, because we have greater awareness. We have greater access to lives of others. We have greater access to differing cultures. We're able to see how varying people live their lives. And even though we can only truly learn a finite amount of information, we can't master everything, we are able to get a decent and good enough level of knowledge over many, many things. So we're more aware, we're more awake. And this is great, because the more awake we are, the more wide our eyes be. So they can be open. We can critically question this idea of success and go, this isn't what I want. We can take and give ourselves the time to figure out what it is we do actually want and build our life around that, even if it's at the expense of the powers that be. But, and this is the all-encompassing but here, because we also live in the most overwhelming period in history, and it is only going to get worse because there's so much information, because we have access to so many things. We're overwhelmed. We don't know what to take in. We don't know what is truth and what is lie. We don't know who to listen to. So we just consume for the sake of consuming. We find it oh so overwhelming. And what do you do when you feel overwhelmed? You shut down. Even though you are awake and your eyes are wider than ever, it's so much easier to just roll on over, go back to sleep, and go through the motions. That is life, allowing a day to bleed into a week, into a month, into a year. But there's a part of you that shuts itself off to all that. Let's call it your inner voice. It doesn't necessarily know what success is, but it knows what you're pursuing isn't what it needs nor desires. So it comes at you in the form of anxiety and worry, maybe sabotage, often eventually comes to the surface in the form of a midlife crisis. It isn't happy with the path that you're on, but because you're not listening and because you don't allow it to have a voice, it needs to be heard in other ways. But there's a part of you right now, and if you close your eyes and slow it down and reflect a little, step outside of the hustle, disconnect from that so you can reconnect with you, that voice gets a little louder to the point where you can hear it. That voice is what you need to hone in on your version of success. Again, that voice isn't going anywhere in the same way the hustle and grind isn't going anywhere. If you refuse that voice of yours a voice, it comes out in the form of self-sabotage, addiction, depression, or just a longing of something different. Even if you're making money, even if you're climbing the ladder, even if to everyone else you are successful, you still feel somewhat empty. And that's because you're pursuing something that doesn't mean something to you. And it's so important to break free from the hustle so you can question this. That's what this is all about in the end. Hustle culture, similar to that generic definition of success, is a tool used by those at the top, those in power, to numb us, to distract us, to lead us to believe that if we do things in a certain way, then we will get to where they are. And it is not true. But that's okay, because you don't need to get to where they are. You simply need to get to where you need to get to. And that starts with a very simple step, one you can take right now. Simply ask yourself, what version of success am I pursuing? Then, when you're clearer on that, be honest. If I were to reach this, would it make me feel happy and whole? And if you come to the conclusion no, like so many of us do, wonder and ponder on what might actually make you feel that way. That's the tipping point. That's the start line. There's so much more to the journey, but you can't embark on it until you take this first step. I hope you feel empowered to do that after watching this video. If you have, drop a thumbs up so more individuals like your fine self can reach it. Leave a comment letting us know how you feel after watching this and what success looks like to you. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more anti-hustling advice and sign up to the No Hustle Huddle, our weekly newsletter, so you can get actionable insights direct to your inbox for free each week. Thank you for watching. More importantly, thank you for being you.